Harry Potter, such an honor it is. Harry Potter must not go back to Hogwarts this year.
He must be getting close. Hold on.
Hogwarts is no longer safe.
When audiences returned to the Wizarding World in 2002 with Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, expectations were immense. The first film had ignited global fascination, but the second installment needed to prove that the magic was not a one-time spectacle. Once again directed by Chris Columbus and adapted from the novel by J.K. Rowling, the sequel deepened the mythology, darkened the tone, and expanded the emotional range of its young heroes. What begins as another school year at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry slowly transforms into a tense mystery filled with whispers in the walls, petrified students, and a legend that threatens to tear the school apart from within. The story opens not in a place of wonder, but back in the mundane world where Harry spends his summer isolated and misunderstood. His longing to return to Hogwarts reflects the emotional core of the series. For Harry, magic is not escapism, it is belonging. That sense of belonging is immediately threatened by the sudden appearance of a strange and frantic house elf named Dobby, whose warnings introduce a layer of unease before the school year even begins. Dobby insists that danger awaits at Hogwarts and that Harry must not return. This early conflict plants the central question of the film: what exactly is hidden inside the castle's ancient walls? Despite the warnings, Harry reunites with his closest friends, Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger, and the warmth of their friendship quickly restores the adventurous spirit audiences love. The chemistry between the three young leads continues to feel authentic and natural, anchoring the increasingly dark narrative in genuine emotion. Their second year does not begin smoothly. From a flying car mishap to an embarrassingly dramatic new defense against the dark arts professor, the film carefully balances humor and tension. The introduction of Gilderoy Lockhart provides comic relief, yet also subtly comments on celebrity culture within the wizarding world. His charm masks incompetence, offering a contrast to the more grounded mentors of the previous year. As the school settles into routine, the mystery begins to take shape. Messages appear scrawled across the castle walls in chilling red letters, announcing that the Chamber of Secrets has been opened. Students begin to fall victim to a mysterious force, left petrified and lifeless in the corridors. Fear spreads rapidly, and suspicion grows toward Harry himself, particularly after he discovers he can speak Parseltongue, the language of snakes. This revelation isolates him further and forces him to confront the possibility that he may be connected to the very darkness he is trying to stop. The film's atmosphere shifts noticeably compared to its predecessor. Shadows linger longer in hallways, and the camera often frames characters within narrow corridors or behind iron gates, visually reinforcing the sense of entrapment. The production design emphasizes Hogwarts not just as a place of wonder, but as an ancient fortress with secrets layered beneath its foundations. The idea that the school itself holds hidden chambers adds a gothic dimension to the story, transforming familiar spaces into sites of dread. Central to the mystery is the legend of Salazar Slytherin, one of the school's founders, who supposedly built a hidden chamber and left behind a monster to purge the school of those he deemed unworthy. This legend introduces themes of blood purity, prejudice, and inherited hatred. The narrative moves beyond a simple adventure and begins exploring how fear and bias can be weaponized. Hermione's research-driven determination contrasts with Ron's instinctive loyalty and Harry's impulsive bravery, highlighting how their differences strengthen them as a team. One of the most compelling elements of the film is the introduction of Tom Riddle through a mysterious diary. The diary is not merely a magical object, it is a narrative device that allows the audience to glimpse the past. Through it, Harry witnesses memories of a previous student who accused Hagrid of opening the chamber decades earlier. These sequences are tinted with a sepia tone, visually separating past from present while underscoring how history continues to influence current events. The film subtly suggests that truth is often distorted by perspective and that memory itself can be manipulated. The emotional weight intensifies as Hermione becomes one of the victims, petrified mid-investigation. Her absence leaves Harry and Ron to navigate the mystery without their most analytical companion. This shift raises the stakes and underscores how much the trio relies on each other. The film carefully builds toward its climax, descending beneath the school into a cavernous lair lined with towering stone statues. Harry confronts the manifestation of the legend, a giant basilisk. The battle sequence is both thrilling and symbolic. The basilisk represents ancient hatred given physical form, while Harry's use of courage and loyalty to defeat it reinforces the series' recurring message that bravery, not bloodline, defines a person's worth. Tom Riddle's true identity is revealed in this confrontation, adding a crucial layer to the overarching narrative of the series. The diary version of Riddle exposes the manipulative intelligence and ambition that will later define the saga's primary antagonist. The revelation reframes earlier events and positions the film not as a standalone mystery, but as a key chapter in a larger epic. By destroying the diary, Harry prevents the resurrection of a dark past and symbolically rejects the ideology it represents. Beyond its plot, the film's technical achievements contributed significantly to its impact. The visual effects team expanded upon the magical creatures introduced in the first installment, from the mischievous Cornish pixies to the towering basilisk. The blend of practical effects and CGI gives the world a tactile realism that enhances immersion. The score, once again composed by John Williams, builds upon established musical themes while introducing darker motifs that reflect the maturing tone of the story. The performances also evolved noticeably from the first film. Daniel Radcliffe portrays Harry with greater emotional nuance, balancing vulnerability with determination. Rupert Grint leans into Ron's comedic timing, while also capturing moments of genuine fear, particularly in scenes involving spiders. Emma Watson's Hermione remains intellectually formidable, and even in her petrified state, her character drives the narrative forward through the clues she leaves behind. Supporting performances enrich the world further, from the stern yet compassionate professors to the mischievous house ghosts. At its core, the film explores identity. Harry struggles with the fear that he may share traits with the heir of Slytherin. The Sorting Hat's earlier suggestion that he would do well in Slytherin resurfaces in his mind, creating internal conflict. The message that emerges is powerful. Our choices matter more than our abilities. This idea resonates beyond the wizarding world, offering a universal lesson about self-definition and moral agency. The film also deepens its examination of friendship. Ron's unwavering loyalty is tested when his sister Ginny becomes entangled in the mystery. Ginny's vulnerability adds emotional urgency to the climax and reinforces the familial bonds within the Weasley household. The rescue of Ginny in the chamber is not only an act of heroism, but also a reaffirmation of the protective, almost sibling-like bond between Harry and the Weasley family. From a broader cinematic perspective, the sequel proved that the franchise could sustain narrative complexity without losing its core audience. It is darker, longer, and more intricate than the first film, yet it retains moments of wonder and humor that make the wizarding world accessible. The balance between light and shadow becomes a defining characteristic of the series moving forward. Thematically, the chamber itself serves as a metaphor for buried prejudice and secrets society prefers not to confront. By literally bringing hidden darkness to light, the film underscores the importance of confronting uncomfortable truths. The petrified students, restored at the end through the use of mandrake draft, symbolize hope and renewal. Order is restored, but the experience leaves lasting marks on the characters. Looking back, the second installment stands as a transitional chapter. It bridges the innocence of the series' beginnings with the escalating conflict that will dominate later films. While it maintains the charm of youthful adventure, it does not shy away from exploring fear, suspicion, and moral ambiguity. This tonal shift signals to audiences that the story is growing alongside its characters. The closing moments return to Hogwarts' familiar warmth, with celebrations and restored harmony. Yet beneath that resolution lies the understanding that darker forces are still at play in the wizarding world. The destruction of one Horcrux-like object, though not yet identified as such within the narrative, foreshadows the larger battle to come. In retrospect, this film plants seeds that will only fully bloom years later. Ultimately, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets endures because it expands its universe without losing emotional intimacy. It transforms corridors into crime scenes, fairy tales into cautionary legends, and a school mystery into a meditation on choice and prejudice. For many viewers, it marked the moment when the franchise proved it was more than a children's fantasy. It was a layered, evolving saga, capable of growing darker and more sophisticated while remaining anchored in friendship and courage. Revisiting it today reveals how carefully constructed its narrative foundations were. The film dares to slow down, to let tension build, and to allow its characters to wrestle with doubt. It trusts its audience to follow a more intricate mystery, and in doing so, it rewards them with one of the most atmospheric chapters in the early series. The second year at Hogwarts may have begun with mischief and magic, but it concluded with revelations that reshaped the wizarding world forever.